Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. Father in heaven, always merciful and giver of life, we humbly ask that you bless each one of us, from the speakers, program committees, guests, and participants. Guide us to make better decisions as we incorporate what we will learn throughout this activity. Thank you for the infinite blessings and countless opportunities. Lord, today as we start our activity, may we always be grateful to learn new things. Shed the light of your wisdom and bless each one, especially our speakers, as they will share their knowledge to us. Through your mercy and grace, may peace and utmost understanding shine and dwell unto us. Almighty God, accompany each one and help us concentrate for us to gain more knowledge as we listen attentively. This we ask in your name. Amen.
Hello everyone! Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And welcome to another learning session offered to you by Knights of Online Marketers with me as your resource speaker for this evening. So sa lahat po ng nasa Zoom conference natin and sa mga nanonood via our Facebook live streaming, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. So, kahit saan kayo nanonood, I mean, even though you are not here sa Zoom, kasi yung iba kasi, iniisip nila palagi na if we are just going to participate via Facebook Live, hindi sila makaka-avail ng certificate. So it's not po. Automatic yan. Automatic na kapag nag-request kayo sa registration form, no, if you paid for the processing fee, yung 50 pesos, automatic yan, makaka-receive kayo ng certificate. Actually, even hindi kayo nakapag-join ng live session, for example, because of other urgent and important matters na kailangan yung i-attend, makakakuha pa rin kayo ng certificate kasi all our webinars recorded siya right after. Every single webinar na kinakandak namin, accessible ang mga recorded versions nila through our Facebook page, yung Ronald Piper Rambuanga, kung saan din kami nagla-live as of the moment. Okay, so that's why you can always go back. Pwede ninyong panoorin if in case na miss ninyo yung ating discussion. So for tonight, our topic is all about leadership development for admin professionals. So this is the third learning session na meron kami for the month of April. Yesterday, meron tayong na-conduct na 2 webinars and today meron tayong isa. So this is now the third. And if you are interested to participate to our other admin-related webinars, you can always check our schedule for the entire April. If you notice, no, sa mga naka-observe lang naman, majority of our webinars for April, yung category is mas nabelong siya this month sa administrative. Kaya kung mapansin niyo, it's more on mga administrative-related webinars. Kasi last March, mas nag-focus naman kami with human resource. Kaya marami kaming HR-related webinars last month. And again, this month, sa admin naman tayo mag-focus. Sa mga previously conducted namin na mga webinars, if in case that you are also interested to avail of a certificate, pwedeng-pwede rin naman. Okay, so just request it and just give us enough time to process your certificate. So leadership development for administrative professionals. Actually, kapag sinabi nating administrative staff or administrative professionals, hindi lang naman, ang pumapasok agad kasi sa isip natin mga, kumbaga traditional na mga office workers, yung mga nagtatrabaho in the four corners of their office. Pero yung mga nasa politics, like for example, the mayor, no, the city mayor or the municipal mayor, administrative professional din siya. More on the politics side nga lang. Or yung mga nagtatrabaho sa bahay as a virtual assistant, for example, administrative virtual professionals din yan sila. So, hindi lang ito nakafocus para lang sa mga nagtratrabaho sa traditional setup, but this is also applicable to those who are building their digital career. Okay? So let me introduce myself. No, my name is Ronald Rambuanga. You can call me Piper. I am the founder and owner of Knights of Online Marketers. We are based here in Davao City, and we are already operating like for almost 10 years. Magti 10 years na kami by July of 2024, and we are offering 3 major services. Yung number 1 is yung outsourcing, in charge dyan si KOF. We are catering clients both here in the Philippines and abroad. And then the second major service that we are offering naman, yung mga training programs or talent development, ang in charge naman dyan si KOM Academy. At more on mga paid trainings ito. Kasi we are a private institution. So that's why our training programs paid. Pero minimal fee lang din naman, no? Kahapon ng umaga, yung meron kasi kinandak na short training, diba? To those who participated, short training program, administrative din yun because it's a skills training using Google Drive for records management. If you want to learn also from the discussion yesterday during the short training program, nasa lang din namin. And the third major service that we are offering is yung aming business consultancy, like sa marketing, e-commerce, creating a business plan, and so on. And the in charge for that is yung professional brand ko, yung Ronald Piper Rambuanga. And because we are helping MSMEs, no, para ma-build silang business in the digital landscape, para magkaroon sila ng competitive advantage in the digital arena. So ang nangyari, we became an industrial and developmental partner of BPI. We are helping entrepreneurs in order for us na para sa matulungan namin sila na ma-build ang kanilang brand online. Okay? And we are also an industrial partner of the Department of ICT in terms naman of helping Filipinos na i-build yung kanilang digital career. I am a proud coach and mentor of the Philippine Center for Entrepreneurship, wherein the modules that I am handling sa kanila are the following, no? Yung entrepreneurial mindsetting and values formation, marketing mindset, the business model canvas, digitalization, which is actually our, kumbaga parang pinaka-specialization talaga, no? And of course, yung human resource management. So that's why with our topic this evening, I would like to share my independent insights, no, my personal experiences din, and of course, some proven facts related to our topic, which is all about leadership development for administrative professional. So the first question here is, bakit ba importante, no? Bakit importante na kailangan nating i-consider tayong mga administrative professionals, bakit importante para sa atin na i-consider ang leadership development in order for us to foster not only our professional growth, even personal growth din, di ba? So ano-ano ba yung mga reasons behind? Actually, it depends, no? Kasi subjective naman yung magiging sagot natin. If I am going to ask you, bakit importante na i-consider mo ang leadership development, for sure you have your own point of view. Kaya masasabi natin na yung response natin to that question, subjective siya. Pero let me identify lang, no, with my own point of view kung bakit importante ang leadership development to foster our professional growth. Siyempre, hindi mawawala yung palaging sinasabi na through leadership development programs, magpro-provide ito ng opportunities in order for us to learn, in order for us to enhance a wide range of skills beyond the administrative task that we are doing sa isang organization. So kumbaga, isa sa reason ng leadership development is for us to expand our skill set. Kaya kasama sa leadership development na mga programs na pwede mo salihan, pwede ka mag-participate, it could include like mga communication na mga skills training, mga decision-making skills, no? Pasok din dito yung conflict resolution kasi as a leader, 'di ba, dapat alam mo on how to resolve conflicts. Kagabi ang pinag-usapan namin yan, no? One of our subtopics is all about conflict resolution and management. And kapag sinabi natin to expand your skill set as a leader, syempre kailangan mo din matutunan yung tinatawag nating strategic thinking and a lot more. So that's why kung makaka-acquire ka ng ganung mga skills, yung communication, decision-making, problem-solving, di ba, conflict resolution, it will make you a better leader. At magiging, kumbaga parang, magiging valuable ka na empleyado sa isang organization. Importante din na tayong mga administrative staff, kailangan nating matutunan ang leadership development for career advancement, 'di ba, no? Career advancement. Kasi ang mga leadership roles, they typically comes with greater responsibilities. Pag leader ka na, it comes with a higher level of authority na. So that's why if you are going to invest in your leadership development, you will position yourself for advancement opportunities within your organization. Or kahit na hindi sa organization mo, no, pwede nating masasabi na within your job market, for example. So kasi ang mga employers, no, yung mga employers, they often seek mga candidates who will demonstrate leadership potential kasi, especially in administrative roles. Kaya pwede nating ma-consider ang career advancement, no, as one of the many reasons kung bakit importante ang tinatawag na career advancement. Okay? Ano pa ba ang pwede nating ma-consider? Pwede rin yung mas enhance yung problem-solving skills mo, no? Kasi it will require, ang mga leaders kasi kailangan nila ng critical thinking, di ba? And problem-solving abilities. So especially kapag mag-address sila ng mga complex issues, paano ba sila makahanap ng mga innovative solutions, how to improve their efficiency sa kanilang administrative role, and a lot more. Kaya I prepared a total of 3 topics for tonight, no, sa ating discussion regarding leadership development for administrative professionals. So the first topic will cover understanding leadership in administrative roles. Second one is developing a leadership mindset. And the third topic na i-cover natin, leading teams and collaborating effectively. So, eto yung mga topics or mga discussions na napili ko because we are going to discuss about the basics of leadership development. Like for example, yung topic number 1, understanding leadership in administrative roles. This topic is about recognizing that even though administrative professionals may not always have the traditional leadership titles, no, they still play a vital role in guiding and supporting their teams. Kasi kapag sinabi nating leaders in the context of administrative roles, hindi naman talaga ibig sabihin kailangan magkaroon ka ng magandang pakinggan na job title. Kasi even though you are just guiding your team, kunyari yung coworker mo, tinulungan mo lang siya, you are actually showing already your leadership skill. Kumbaga parang nagiging captain of the ship ka sa team ninyo, wherein you are making sure that everything runs smoothly, no, at the back office. So that's why we need to understand leadership in this context. Kasi makakatulong ito para sa ating mga administrative professionals na ma-realize na importante pa rin ang ating mga contributions at kailangan nating ma-realize na yung mga contributions natin, they can actually create a positive influence sa mga co-workers natin or within the organization as a whole. Yung second topic naman natin, di ba, developing a leadership mindset, it simply means that we need to adopt, no? Kailangan nating magkaroon ng mga certain attitudes and ways of thinking that will empower sa ating role as administrative staff. Kumbaga, we need to make the right mindset in order for us to make a difference. Kumbaga, it's about believing in yourself. Parang it's about being proactive, or it's about embracing challenges as opportunities for you to grow. Tapos yung third topic naman natin, leading teams and collaborating effectively, is all about working together as one. Look, yung mga administrative professionals, kailangan kasi nilang malaman kung paano makipag-communicate ng maayos. Kailangan nilang malaman how to properly delegate tasks. Diba? You cannot do it all by yourself. If you want to go fast, you can always go alone. But if you want to go faster, then you need to delegate tasks para mas maging productive ka. Actually, ang delegating of tasks, pinag-aaralan din yan. It is actually a soft skill na dapat meron talaga kayo. I mean, yung mga leaders, dapat they are confident na every time that they are delegating tasks, alam nila na may capacity yung tao na binibigyan nila ng task na yon. Siyempre, as a leader, kailangan meron siyang proper assessment, di ba, sa kanyang mga members, sa kanyang mga team members, for example. At dapat alam ni leader kung ano yung capacity ng kanyang mga members, especially in terms of delegating task. Kasi baka yung task na ibinigay mo sa isang staff, hindi niya pala kayang gawin, so mas tumatagal. na makakuha kayo ng output. And of course, if you are going to work closely with your team, you will surely achieve the goal na sinet ninyo. Kumbaga, leading teams and collaborating effectively as a leader, you will guide the entire team para kang tour guide. You need to make sure that every single place or attraction na pinupuntahan ninyo na explain mo ng maayos sa mga turista. Kasi kapag ang mga administrative professionals, ma-lead nila ang kanilang team ng maayos at maka-collaborate sila effectively, for sure, it will create a positive work environment na kung saan ang bawat isa, no, bawat isang empleyado, they will feel valued, no? Kumbaga parang maramdaman nila na they are being supported. That's why they are motivated more to do their best. And I am hoping na for tonight, mako-cover natin yung ating mga discussion. So the first topic is about understanding leadership in administrative roles. This is the first topic. Tapos under this topic, meron tayong i-discuss na tatlong subtopics. The first one is the first subtopic for topic number 1, defining leadership in the administrative context. No, this is about understanding what leadership means when you're in an administrative role. So that's why kasama siya sa ating discussion. Leadership involves like organizing tasks, helping your team, keeping everything on track, and so on. The second subtopic will focus on identifying the key leadership qualities. Ang subtopic na to is about recognizing the important traits that will make you a good leader in the context of being an administrative professional. Kasi yung mga traits na yan, yung mga qualities na yan, makakatulong kasi yan sa'yo para i-guide mo ng maayos yung team, para madaling ka lang makapag-solve ng problems and so on. So malalaman natin, ano-ano ba yung mga key leadership qualities na yon. And the third subtopic na i-cover natin, yung exploring leadership styles. Kumbaga, this is about like understanding na kumbaga parang hindi lang yung may title ang pwedeng maging leader. There are different leadership styles that can actually work depending on a particular situation. Kagaya ng na-mention natin kanina na it doesn't mean na hindi ikaw yung manager, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-lead. Hindi mo na pwedeng i-guide ang co-workers mo. 'Di ba? So that's why we need to explore later on yung iba't ibang leadership styles. So let's start with the first subtopic. So let's define leadership in the administrative context. So meron tayong in-enumerate dito na ilang mga parts of the definition na kailangan ninyong malaman. Kasi nga, we need to define what is a leader in the context of being an administrative professional. First one, tapos may nilagay tayong example para guided tayo with our discussion. Vision and direction. So yung leader daw, yung leadership in the context of administrative context. Vision and direction. So in the administrative context, kumbaga, having a vision means you have a clear idea of where you want your team, where you want your organization to go in the future. You are optimistic, you are hopeful, and you are dependent of a good future, kumbaga. Vision and direction, kapag merong ganyan ang pagiging isang leader, para siyang gumagawa ng mapa wherein yung mapa na yan magpapakita ng iba't ibang destination na dadaanan ninyo in order for you to reach your destination. So that's why direction means you are charting the path to reach your organizational goals. Kasi 'di ba, may siniset tayong mga short-term goals, meron tayong siniset na mga long-term goals, kaya kailangan ang leader, visionary siya, forward thinker siya, at alam niya kung saan dapat pupunta. Kumbaga alam niya ang mga steps na kailangan gawin in order for that vision to become a reality. So you are, kumbaga kung magta-travel kayo, kunyari land trip kayo, no? As early as possible bago kayo mag-drive, di ba, you are already going to plan the route that you are going to take kapag magro-road trip kayo. So like for example, a CEO outlines a strategic plan focusing on innovation and market expansion to drive company growth. So imagine na ikaw yung CEO, no? You are the CEO of a particular company. 'Di ba? Sa panahon ngayon, madali na lang magkaroon ng job title as a CEO. In fact, parang iba na yung parang iba na yung dating ng mga CEOs ngayon as compared in the past. And also, you also need to consider this one, ha. Kasi ako, nanonotice ko to as a business counselor here in Davao City, na ang ibang mga business persons kasi o yung mga individuals na nag-start ng kanilang business, napapansin ko, nakikita namin na they are calling themselves as CEO. Kasi nga, sila yung may-ari ng business, di ba? So they are the founder, they are the CEO of their own company. And then to find out na yung kanilang business pala, yung business name registration to be specific, is nasa DTI galing because it's a single ownership business. So kung ang negosyo mo, ang name niya naka-register sa DTI, automatically single ownership business yan. Kaya hindi ka pwedeng tawaging CEO kasi wala kang board, 'di ba? You are only you are the only person na may 100% share of your own business. So again, this is just a reminder na if you are starting a business, tapos single ownership, ni-register mo sa DTI, you cannot call yourself a CEO. If in case na gusto mong tawagin ang sarili mong CEO, if you want to make use of that title, actually pwede naman din kasi sa SEC or sa Securities and Exchange Commission, meron silang tinatawag na one-person corporation or OPC. Kaya kung nagpaplano ka na magnegosyo, tapos ayaw mo maghanap ng partner, kasi sa isip mo, if may partner ka pa, baka mahihirapan ka in terms of decision making, gusto mo ikaw lang yung nagde-decide, then you can actually register your business name under the Securities and Exchange Commission as an OPC. Di ba may mga company na incorporated, no, or INC? So ang magiging suffix ng business mo, instead na INC, OPC. Then you can call yourself a CEO. Now let's go back to our example. So kunyari ikaw yung leader of a company. So you are the CEO. So you want your company to grow, you want your company to succeed in the market. Kaya ang ginawa mo as a CEO, you come up with a strategic plan. Kumbaga para siyang roadmap kung anong mangyayari sa company na yon in the future. So this will outline the roadmap na yung sinabi natin, will outline your vision, no? Kumbaga, what are the innovative plan that you are also planning to implement, how to expand into new markets. So yung mga vision na yun will guide all the decisions and actions taken by the company. Kaya actually pwedeng mag-allocate ng budget for this one. Like You might invest, no? Yung kapag nagre-create ng strategic plan para mas mag-improve pa siya ng maayos, the CEO can invest in research and development para mas maka-create pa talaga ng mga innovative products and services. Tapos, pwede rin i-include dyan sa strategic plan yung vision of expanding into other regions of the Philippines or even outside of the country. So that's why ang vision and direction, no, kapag nagsiset ang leader ng clear vision and direction, for sure, your company will be guided towards achieving specific goals and objectives. So dapat daw ang leader, visionary, forward thinker, tapos may sense of direction. Second, leadership in administrative context, pasok dito yung decision making and problem solving. Decision making means choosing the best option among the different choices that you identified. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng decision making. Kumbaga, sa dami-dami ng mga options available, alin doon ang pipiliin nyo. So that is what we call decision making. Kumbaga, if you are going to travel, di ba nag-road trip kayo, magti-turn left ba kayo, kasi kung sa left, medyo malayo, pero wala namang traffic. Kung sa right kayo pupunta, traffic, pero medyo maikli lang yung kilometer. So you need to decide, alin ba yung best option na pwede ninyong piliin? So that's decision making. Pag sinabi namang problem solving, it involves, of course, no, finding solutions to the issues, to the challenges that you are facing. Kumbaga, ang problem solving is like you are figuring out how to fix or overcome a particular obstacle. Kunyari, yung na-mention natin traffic. So how are you going to fix that? Paano maiiwasan para makarating kayo sa inyong destination? So like for example, a city mayor implements a traffic management system after analyzing data to alleviate congestion and improve mobility. O kanina, inimagine niyo ang sarili niyo na CEO kayo, no, ng isang company. This time, imagine yourself naman as the mayor of your city or municipality. So as the mayor, na-notice mo na merong na yung traffic congestion in your area is really a big problem talaga ever since. Tapos itong congestion na to sa traffic causes delays, no? Tapos yung mga residents, yung constituents mo, they are frustrated because of heavy traffic. So that's why ikaw, as the mayor, you will gather information and you will analyze the data collected about, like for example, yung traffic patterns. Or you also need to analyze the data gathered about road conditions. Kasi baka merong mga road construction na medyo matagal na hindi pa natatapos. Tapos, you can also analyze data about the transportation na ginagamit, no? So, mag-a-analyze ka. But of course, you are going to collect data then. And then based on your analysis, you decided na mag-implement ng panibagong traffic management system. So yung decision mo na yun will involve considering factors like okay ba sa mga residents, sa constituents mo, yung gagawin mong traffic management system. Kumbaga, you need to consider the factors about public opinion. You also need to consider factors like the availability of the resources. Or ano ba yung magiging potential outcome niya. So ang goal is to alleviate congestion, di ba? And improve mobility for everyone in the city. So that's why you are going to decide based on the collected data, you are going to solve problem, no, based on how to overcome a particular obstacle. And if you are going to show that one as the mayor, kumbaga you are demonstrating an effective administrative leadership. Para kang para kang hero in terms of problem solving. You are going to save the day sa mga problema ng mga residente. Decision making and problem solving. The third one, team building and motivation. In administration, pag sinabi nating team building, ang pumasok kasi sa isip natin mag-outing, 'di ba? Maliligo sa beach. Tapos may mga pa-games na kailangan group yourselves, count 1, 2, 3, 4, then look for your teammates. Ganun laging pumapasok sa isip natin, 'di ba? Pero even internally, kahit nasa loob lang ng organization, you can actually do some team building activities. Ang ibig sabihin kasi ng team building, you are bringing people together in order for you to work as a strong and united group. Kumbaga para kang you are the leader, 'di ba? And then you are solving a puzzle. Wherein dapat yung bawat piece of the puzzle na sinosolve mo mag-fit together perfectly. Motivation, you need, as a leader, dapat mag-set ka as a good example. You need to lead by example. Ikaw yung leader pero palagi kang nalilate. So anong iisipin ng mga subordinates mo, 'di ba? Minsan nga dumating sa point din in my past experience, speaking of late ba, kasi I am part of an HR department no in the past, yung nagtatrabaho ako online, especially during the pandemic kasi wala pa ako masyadong mga training programs noon kasi biglang nag-lockdown, 'di ba? So kaya wala muna kami mga training programs, hindi pa naman masyado napapansin dati yung mga Zoom kagaya ng ginagawa natin ngayon. That's why naghanap muna ako ng pwedeng maging source of income. So naging virtual professional ako. And I became part of an HR department. And then, minsan may nakakarating sa aming feedback na palagi, kasi may mga remote employees kami na palaging nalilate. And then nagpapadala kami ng warning. Tapos nire-replyan kami palagi na kayo nga na nasa HR department palagi ding nalilate. Sino ang nagmo-monitor sa inyo? So parang ang nangyari tuloy, naging comparison na yung HR department, no? Kumbaga parang hindi na kami nagli-lead by example. Kasi sinasabi nila, nalilate nga palagi yung taga-HR, kami pa kaya. So that's why as a leader, dapat you can motivate and you can influence the members of your team. Or kahit na hindi ka pa leader, I mean like, di ba sabi natin kapag sinabing leader, hindi naman automatically dapat meron kang title like a supervisor or a manager. Kumbaga, you need to inspire, you need to encourage your team members or your co-workers to do their best at work. So example, a team leader organizes monthly recognition events and fosters open communication channels to boost team morale and collaboration. So, mag-imagine na naman tayo ng panibagong scenario, no? So, imagine you are a team leader na naman ngayon. So, tapos na yung role mo as the CEO, as the mayor. This time, you are a team leader of a specific company. And then your job, no, is to make sure everyone on your team works well together and feels motivated to do their best. So that's why in order for you to achieve this, you can actually organize yung mga monthly na recognition events. Kumbaga, you are going to celebrate the achievements of every single team members na nakaka-contribute talaga na ma-achieve ang inyong goals. So ipapakita mo yung appreciation sa kanilang mga hard work. And because of that, mas ma-encourage sila to exert more effort. At the same time, you are fostering an open communication channel, no? Wherein ang bawat isa sa team member mo, comfortable sila in sharing their ideas and concern. And because of that, dahil nararamdaman ng mga team members mo na they are welcome to share their ideas, to share their thoughts, mas mabuboost yung kanilang moral. And for sure, magkakaroon ng effective collaboration. So that's why ikaw as a leader, team building and motivation, kailangan mo siyang i-consider. As a leader, accountability and responsibility. So in the context of being an administrative professional, pag sinabi nating accountability, di ba, you are being responsible for your actions, you are being responsible for your decision. Kumbaga, it's like owning up to what you do, whether it's good or bad. Kasi minsan, may mga leaders din, di ba, I'm sure, some of you can relate din, no? Na merong mga leaders na they are only accountable kapag maganda ang naging outcome. Pero the moment na hindi ganun kaganda ang outcome, 'di ba? Minsan some of our leaders i-blame ang mga team members. So hindi siya good leader, no? Because hindi siya nagiging responsible sa kanyang mga actions, sa kanyang mga decisions and so on. Responsibility is about doing what you're supposed to do. Alam niyo yung pag sinabing responsibility, this can also be related to integrity. Alam niyo yung na kapag binigay sa iyo ang responsibility na yan, kahit hindi ka binabantayan ng leader ninyo, you are still going to perform your duties and responsibilities. That's what we call integrity. Minsan kasi may mga empleyado na masipag, trabaho ng trabaho, may tinatype sa computer, kasi kasama nila ang kanilang team leader sa loob ng office na yon. And then the moment na umalis, no, yung kanilang boss, hindi na sila man nagiging productive. So, kumbaga parang nawawala yung kanilang integrity. A department head establishes clear performance metrics and conducts regular reviews to ensure compliance with regulatory standards and organizational goals. Yan yung ating example. Now, imagine yourself again as the head of a specific department. Di ba kanina TL ka o di ngayon na-promote ka ulit. Kasi kanina CEO ka na, naging mayor, mataas na sana yung position mo, and then na-demote ka, naging team leader ka ulit, naging team leader ka na lang, no? Now this time, i-imagine niyo yung sarili niyo as the department head. So di ba as the head of the department, your job is to make sure that everything in your department runs smoothly and every single person in your department follows the rules. So that's why in order for you to make sure that everything in your department runs smoothly, you are going to establish yung mga performance metrics. Kumbaga para silang mga guidelines na nagpapakita ano yung mga kailangang gawin at kailangang matapos, no? How well it should be done and so on. Tapos magkakanda ka ng regular reviews to check if your department is still meeting, no, yung mga regulatory standards at saka na-achieve ba talaga yung organizational goals ninyo and so on. That's why, as a leader, in the administrative context, by upholding accountability and responsibility, you ensure that your department operates effectively, that your department works ethically, no? All the time. Hindi lang kapag present ang leader. Okay? So those are just some of the, kumbaga parang best definition na pwede nating ma-include kapag sinabi nating leadership in administrative context. Now let's proceed on the second subtopic, which is all about identifying kung ano-ano yung mga key leadership qualities. So let's just enumerate 3, no? Although there are a lot more, pero for the benefit of time, kasi 2 hours lang tayo magsasama, so let's just identify at least 3 key leadership qualities na dapat daw meron kayo nito. So the first one is communication skills. Actually, hindi talaga nawawala yung communication skills na yan. Every time that we are talking about administrative na mga duties and responsibilities, kahit hindi ka leader, kailangan meron kang good communication skills. Siyempre, kung hindi okay ang communication skills mo, how can you instruct? No? How can you properly delegate tasks? Effective communication skills. This is all about being able to express, no, yourself clearly. Kapag sinabing communication, hindi lang ito puro or palaging salita lang ng salita, no? Kasi 'di ba pag sinabi communication, ang pumapasok sa isip natin, dapat kaya mong makipag-usap ng maayos, kailangang malinaw. Tama din naman. Pero communication is not a one-way approach. It's two-way. Kaya you also need to listen attentively to others. Kung meron kang good communication skills, salita ka ng salita, pero if someone will talk, you will pay attention and you will listen actively to what the person is saying. So dapat ganyan daw ang mga leaders, no? Good speaker and good listener. Kumbaga, it's like speaking and listening in a way that everyone understand each other well. Applying this quality, nakalagay sa presentation, no? Applying this quality involves holding regular team meetings, yan, mas na-enhance ang communication skills, providing clear written instructions, and actively soliciting feedback to maintain open channels of communication within the administrative setup. By using good communication skills, makaka-make sure ka talaga that everyone on your team will understand their roles and responsibilities. Kapag good ang communication skills, for sure makakapag-create ka ng positive and productive work environment. Like for example, di ba nakalagay dito, holding regular team meetings. So gathering everyone together to discuss what needs to be done, any changes in the procedures na kailangan i-implement. And yung regular team meetings, it will help you answer any questions or concerns na meron ang mga team members mo. Kapag meron kayong regular team meetings, everyone stays informed and everyone will feel na they are part of the team. Nilagay din natin dyan, providing clear written instructions. So, you need to make sure to write down instructions for the task na gagawin nila. Dapat meron kayong nakasulat na policies and procedures. Kasi para kung merong isa sa mga team members mo ang nakalimutan niya yung instructions, at least kung nakasulat siya ng maayos, they can always go back to the instructions. Kung medyo nakalimutan nila, at least they can clarify, no? They can refer back to the written instruction. Tapos nilagay natin dito, actively soliciting feedback. 'Di ba? Kumbaga parang magkakaroon talaga ng open communication channel, no, because you are encouraging your team members to share their thoughts, to share their ideas, to share their concerns. Meron din kasing mga individuals na talagang may inferiority complex. Kumbaga medyo or introvert, no? Hindi nila kayang mag-voice out. Pero during your meeting, for example, ang leader dapat tawagin niya isa-isa. Kunyari, bago matapos ang meeting, then you can call every single member of your team kung meron silang concerns na gustong i-raise or questions na gustong itanong. para makakreate kayo ng open communication channel. True leaders are exemplar in following the rules. O, yung sinabi natin na lead by example. They should know how to recognize or appreciate their subordinates. Kaya dapat kumbaga parang, kasi yung mga leaders kasi based on my experience talaga in the past, after I graduated college, tapos nakahanap ako ng trabaho. Alam niyo minsan yung mga leaders kasi kapag kapag may palpak ang kanilang team members, 'di ba? Magpagagalitan nila. Pero kapag meron namang contribution, hindi naman nila binibigyan ng recognition. So dapat neutral din. Kaya kung may na-contribute, recognize, appreciate. 'Di ba? Hindi lang puro puro lang galit ng galit. We cannot be accountable for something we are not in charge of. Okay, so communication skills. Now, the next key leadership quality. No, this is not communication skill. Let me check. Mali. Hindi ko na-edit yung upper part, no? Communication skills. This is not communication skills. This is decision making and problem solving. Let me check ha. Oh, hindi ko napalitan yung communication skills na. So this is actually decision making. Okay, I apologize for that. This is decision making and problem solving. So yung mga di ba napag-usapan natin kanina what is decision making? Di ba pag sinabing decision making, you are identifying the best from the options na meron. Kapag sinabi naman natin problem solving, you are going to figure out or identify how to fix a particular issue. So kumbaga, si decision making and problem solving, they are both about making choices, 'di ba? They are both related to finding solutions, especially when things get tough. Kumbaga parang para kang isang detective wherein you are going to figure out the best way every time that you are going to face challenges. So imagine you are a manager of a small business. Tapos there's a problem with, kumbaga, the problem is all about, for example, the budget, no? Kasi yung sales down, yung mga expenses na go up. So that's why you need to figure out what to do in order for you to keep the business to run smoothly. Di ba nilagay natin dito sa presentation, applying this quality, wait lang ha. Applying this quality involves gathering relevant data. Ibig sabihin, you start by collecting information about the company's finances. You look at the sales reports, the expenses, or other relevant data in order for you to understand the situation better. You need to gather clues in order for you to solve a mystery. Kasi 'di ba there's a problem with your budget, 'di ba? Yun na yung scenario natin kanina. Aside from that, you need to consult with the key stakeholders. So you need to talk to your team members. You need to talk to your accountants or kung sino man yung other stakeholders na involved para makuha mo rin yung input nila, pati yung perspectives nila. You need to hear, you need to learn, no? Also, ano ba yung pwede nilang mai-contribute? No, baka meron silang mai-suggest, no? Baka makakatulong pa sila para ma-identify what is causing the problem. So kapag nagpakonsulta ka sa mga stakeholders, it's like getting advices ba? Kumbaga parang you are also gathering other inputs from the persons involved. Weighing the pros and cons. So, di ba, ibig sabihin yan, you are going to carefully consider all the information you've gathered. And then after that, you are going to think about the different options available. So this time, you are now going to weigh the advantages and disadvantages of each option. Tapos kailangan mong pag-isipan ano yung magiging impact, no, sa company in the long run. So you need to consider the pros, the cons, you need to consider kumbaga different path, no, na kailangan mong i-take in order for you to solve a particular problem. And of course, make decision. Yung decision mo, 'di ba? Ito na yung mga steps na kailangan ninyong gawin to address the problem. Paano ba maa-address yung budget problem na yon? So pumili ka na ng option because you think this is the best for the company. Pero yung decision na yun galing sa mga information na nag-gather mo, pati sa mga inputs na na-receive mo. So that's why by using good decision making and problem solving skills, you will be able to address challenges effectively and you will make choices that will benefit the company in the long run. Kaya dapat ang isang leader may quality na in terms of decision making and problem solving. And the third quality na pwede nating makonsider na dapat meron ang isang leader, yung adaptability. Kumbaga, ang isang leader dapat, kumbaga, madali siyang maka-adjust kapag hindi nagawa ng tama ang plano na naisulat nila. Kumbaga, madali siyang mag-adjust, madali siyang makaisip ng ano pa ang pwede nating gawin kasi palpak, hindi natin nagawa ng maayos yung plano natin. Adaptability yon, no? Kumbaga it's like ano ba, kumbaga yung 'di ba yung sinasabi nila na don't change your goal, just change your direction, 'di ba? So that's why ang isang leader able to adapt sa mga changes na nangyayari. So applying this quality, yung adaptability, involves staying updated on industry trends. So dapat ikaw as a leader, you regularly read or watch mga news. It's either on the digital media or the traditional media. Ikaw as the leader, kailangan mong mag-attend ng mga conferences, mga congress, it's either national, regional, or city lang ba yan na mga conferences in order for you to keep updated with the latest trends related to your industry para up to date ang knowledge competencies para mas maging prepared ka sa mga unexpected challenges in the future. Adaptability, if you're going to apply this, also involves fostering a culture of continuous learning. Learning never stops. The moment you stop learning, that's the time you start dying. Kaya kailangan talaga nating palaging mag-invest sa ating intellectual capital. Just like what we are doing right now. 'Di ba? Kasi ngayon, today is April 3. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 2 oras. You invested your time, no, para mag-participate sa aming webinar. You invested your time, you invested your effort. And that's what we call investing in your intellectual capital. Kasi if you are going to foster a culture of continuous learning, kumbaga, this will ensure that everyone handling a particular problem, kaya nilang i-deal ng maayos ang mga yon. If you encourage your team members to attend training sessions, to attend workshops, to improve their skills, for sure, they can easily adapt to changes. Mas magiging prepared sila sa mga possible na mga obstacles na kanilang haharapin someday. And adaptability, no, is a quality that also involves encouraging team members to embrace change positively. Kumbaga, encourage positive change, to make it short. Kaya instead na magpanic, instead na mag-blame ng other people in the team. So you can actually encourage your team na to see every single problem as an opportunity to learn and improve. So instead na kumbaga parang kasi nga may problem na nangyari, di ba? So dapat gamitin natin yun as a material para matuto tayo from that mistake at mas mag-improve pa ang ating ginagawa. Kumbaga, di ba kasi nga, kasi may problema na nangyari. So para ma-encourage ang positive na pag-accept doon, so instead na mag-blame ng tao, instead na mag-panic, see it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Kaya kung meron kang quality na tinatawag nating adaptability, you will be able to lead your team through challenging situations. Pero pag natapos na yung mga challenging situations na yun, your team will come out as a stronger team as compared before. Kaya ang leaders dapat may adaptability na key quality. Now, let's explore yung tinatawag nating mga leadership styles. This will be the last subtopic for our topic number 1. So meron akong na-prepare dito na checklist on how to explore, no? Paano mo malalaman kung anong leadership style ang pwede mo i-implement, no? Meron ako ditong na-prepare na 10 checklist. Kumbaga, pwede mo siyang i-consider na aspects of exploring leadership styles. So let's start with the first checklist, no? Paano i-explore if meron ka pa talagang capacity to lead or ano ba yung pwede mong maging style. So you start with what we call self-assessment. So magsisimula yan, no, by evaluating your own strengths. You are going to evaluate your weaknesses. Ano ba yung preferences mo? Ano ba yung values na meron ka as a leader? So that's why part of your self-assessment is for you to reflect on your past experiences. You can also reflect on your mga success stories na meron ka. You can also reflect sa mga challenges na naranasan mo in the past, no? Na sa tingin mo lumabas ang pagiging leader mo. So pwede mong i-consider sa self-assessment din ang communication style mo. Kasi kumbaga if you are introvert, you need to identify that, no, na mahiyain ka, you cannot speak in front of a crowd, hindi ka vocal na tao, during meeting nahihiya kang magsalita. So, pwede ka din namang maging leader. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na yung mga introvert, they cannot be a leader, no? Kaya nga you need to identify anong klaseng leadership style ang gagamitin mo or gagawin mo. Like for example, introvert ka, pero meron ka naman talagang capacity to lead. Tapos dahil introvert ka, hindi ka mahilig magsalita. So kaya ang ginawa mo, in order for you to manage the team, gumamit na lang kayo ng mga project management tool. Tapos doon kayo mag-communicate. Kasi di ba may mga tao kasi na ayaw silang tawagan on their phone number. Pero pag iti-text or i-chat, di ba, grabe sila mag-explain, grabe sila magbigay ng instructions. Pero kapag verbal, medyo challenging sa kanila because they are introvert or meron silang inferiority complex. Kaya nga kailangan mong magkaroon ng self-assessment for you to identify how are you going to manage your team if you are an introvert, for example. So you need to consider your communication style, yung decision-making approach mo. How are you going to interact with others? So tayo, kunyari ikaw, kunyari empleyado ka, pag nagkakandak ka ng self-assessment, so i-identify mo yung mga areas din na kung saan pwede ka mag-improve. Kung tingin mo kulang pa ang leadership skills mo, then you can join yung mga leadership na mga training programs. Second on our checklist on how to improve or to explore, your leadership style is to do some research. So this involves, kumbaga you are now going to study different leadership styles. You are going to study what are the different or mga best practices ng pagiging isang good leader. So you are now going to explore a lot of sources, no? Kasi nga magre-research ka. Pwede kang magbasa ng mga aklat, no, from mga motivational natin na mga coaches and speakers. Pwede ka ding magbasa ng mga case studies related to leadership. Pero mas marami pa ring available na mga online resources. Kasi meron na tayong easy access to the internet. Pwede kang mag-research, no? Or pwede kang mag-research gamit ang mga online resources in order for you to broaden your understanding of leadership and how to apply leadership in the context of administrative role. Like for example, you are going to read books about transformational leadership. Siyempre, dapat meron kang matutunan sa aklat na binasa mo, no? Dapat meron kang matutunan, no, from the book that you read, which is all about transformational leadership. How are you going to inspire and motivate team members to achieve common goals? So you can do some research. Third, you do some, kumbaga, benchmarking. Diba? Observe. No, mag-observe ka. I-observe mo yung mga best practices ng other leaders. This is also similar nga sa na-mention kong benchmarking. Diba pag sinabing benchmark, kumbaga mag-i-immersion ka, kunyari in doing business sa pagnenegosyo. Kapag meron kang business idea, meron kang naisip na gustong gawing negosyo, bago ka magsulat ng business plan mo, kailangan mo munang mag-benchmarking. So, ibig sabihin, you are going to immerse yourself as a customer sa mga competitors or sa mga the same businesses na nauna na sa'yo. Kunyari, gusto mong magpatayo ng milk tea business. So, dapat lahat ng milk tea shop in your location, puntahan mo. Be a customer and you observe their best practices. Tapos kung ano yung mga best practices nila, baka pwede mo ring gawin sa negosyo mo. The same with leadership. So you need to observe yung mga leaders based on their action. Pwedeng mga leaders within your organization, or pwede rin naman yung mga leaders even outside of your organization. So you need to pay attention to their behaviors, yung communication styles nila, or kung internal yan, no? Internal, you can also pay attention to their decision-making processes, how they handle different situations, and a lot more. And then you need to take note of everything na na-observe mo. Kasi baka pwede mo rin siyang gawin as a leader. So kunyari, merong isang empleyado, tapos aspiring gusto niya maging manager someday ng branch ng isang business na yan. So dahil hindi niya pa nararating yung kanyang aspiration na yon, no? Pwede siyang mag-observe within the organization kung paano hinahandle ng kanyang mga supervisors, yung mga conflicts sa kanilang team. Tapos napansin niya kunyari na every time na mayroong conflict, yung supervisor nakikinig ng maayos sa bawat isang individuals na involved. Tapos na-observe niya na after niyang makinig, no, magpro-propose ng solution. And because of that, dahil na-observe mo na best practice yun ng supervisor, in the future, pwede mong i-adopt ang approach na yon. So how to explore leadership styles? You observe. You can also seek feedback. You can ask feedback from your colleagues, no? Or kung meron kang mentors, You can also ask feedback from your supervisors. Although meron namang mga policies and procedures about performance reviews, di ba? Like annual and so on. You can also ask feedback from your friends, di ba? Kung existing ka na leader, kunyari meron ka na position, you ask them, no? Kumusta naman yung pagmamanage ko sa inyo? You can ask for specific examples. Ano yung strengths na na-identify nila. And then you can also ask your colleagues na ano pa kaya sa tingin mo yung areas na pwede kong i-improve as your team leader. Siyempre, meron silang gustong sabihin na for you, baka medyo masakit sa damdamin. Pero you need to accept it as a constructive na feedback. Kasi makakatulong yung mga constructive na feedback na yun to help you gain valuable insights. Tapos ma-identify mo yung mga blind spots na kailangan mong mag-focus at kailangan mong i-improve. So you can actually seek feedback to explore more your leadership style. Kunyari, tanungin mo yung team member mo. Kunyari, project manager ka. Tapos nag-request ka ng feedback from your team members. Kunyari, meron kayong natapos na isang project. Tapos yung project na yun, napaka-challenging, no? Ang dami yung pinagdaanan. Tapos 'di ba at the end of that, you need to evaluate. So magtatanong ka ng feedback from your team members. Kaya i-accept mo yung mga inputs nila, accept and open for criticism by others. Kasi makakatulong yun for you to improve. Experiment. Kumbaga, dapat willing ka to try out different leadership approaches. You need to experiment, no? And try out different leadership techniques in different situations. Kasi ang experimentation will allow you to test, no? To test a new strategy, for example. Through experimentation, you can actually adapt to different contexts. You can learn from success. You can also learn from failures. Kaya as you experiment, you need to be open-minded. You need to be flexible in your approach. In exploring, you need to humble and patient in order to learn more because we never stop learning in life. So for example, you are a department manager. Tapos, nag-experiment ka with implementing a more a decision-making process na kung saan you will encourage more participation from the members. So mag-experiment ka ba na, okay, ang decision dapat hindi lang manggagaling sa akin. So I need to ask the decision from my team members. That's why you are going to allow your team members to contribute their ideas, to contribute their suggestions. Tapos, kung mapapansin mo na nagkakaroon talaga ng impact, then you can actually implement that kind of leadership style na hindi lang ikaw yung nagde-decide. Ibig sabihin, sabay-sabay ninyong i-identify what's our decision for this. Minsan kasi yung mga leaders, di ba, they are deciding based on data that they collected. Di ba, kunyari, inutusan yung team member para mag-collect ng data, tapos pagbigay doon sa project manager or sa team leader or and so on, binasa yung data, nag-analyze ng data, and then nag-create ng decision. Pero nag-experiment ka this time na you want your team members to decide what's good for the group. So that's another leadership style that you can actually explore. You need to assess impact. You need to continuously evaluate the outcomes of your leadership style to every team member that you are handling. You also need to continuously evaluate the impact of your leadership style kung naka-align pa rin ba ito with the organizational goals. So you can measure it by checking with the KPI, with the key performance indicators. You can also assess impact by gathering feedbacks. Feedback, as we mentioned earlier. Like for example, yung isang TL, no, nag-assess siya ng kanyang, kunyari ang isang team leader, nag-implement siya ng flexible na work schedule. Kunyari, yun ang kanyang naging yun ang naging kanyang decision, okay? Para magkaroon ng productivity and job satisfaction ang team members, magbibigay ako sa inyo ng flexible work schedule. So, kailangan niyang i-assess yung impact na yun. Kailangan niyang i-track. Kailangan niyang i-monitor, no? Yung completion rate ng project na yun, yung engagement ng team members. Kasi kung mababa or kung naging negative ang impact ng flexible work schedule, then kailangan siyang i-improve further or baka kailangan tanggalin yung flexibility na yon. Actually, nangyari yan sa akin in the past. Ako as the owner of the business. Meron kasi akong other businesses aside from KOM, di ba? Yung mga micro-scale lang. Like meron kaming retail store, meron kaming party needs, may rental kami, and so on. Mga micro-scale businesses lang. Tapos meron akong staff sa shop na yon. Tapos binibigyan ko sila ng flexibility sa kanilang work schedule. I mean like, pero syempre kailangan nila mag-work in the morning. Minsan magme-mess, kunyari ang napag-usapan namin, mag-report ka tomorrow ha, ng 9 o'clock in the morning. Tapos, magre-report siya ng 9. Tapos bago siya mag-uwi, pag-uusapan namin anong oras siya kinabukasan mag-work. Something like that. Kasi nga flexible. Kunyari sabihin niya, ma'am, pwede ba ako 10 o'clock na mag-work tomorrow? Something like that, no? So, naging flexible sila. But then I noticed na yung flexibility, kung sila yung nagde-decide, nahihirapan kami to track yung habitual tardiness. Kasi syempre, kunyari, alas 9, minsan sabi niya, kunyari, malapit na mag-9. Sa tingin niya, malilate siya. Mag-chat, magme-message at sasabihin na, ma'am, 10 a.m. na lang ako mag-report ngayon. Kasi dahil flexible, so mag-a-adjust. So, syempre, madadagdagan ng isang oras bago siya mag-out in the afternoon or in the evening na. Pero I remove that flexibility. So, nag-fix na kami talaga ng schedule na mag-work kayo ng 9 to 6 kasi may 1 hour na lunch break, no? 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay lang kung gusto niyo maging flexible. If you will report 10 o'clock, it's not a problem with me. Pero may deduction na yon because you are considered an hour late already. Tapos mas naging effective this time nung naging fix na kami. Kasi nag-implement ako ng policy about tardiness. And then mas naging productive din. Na-streamline yung aming operation kasi like at 9 o'clock, I can give more instructions kaysa naman hihintayin ko kung anong oras pa sila darating. So you need to assess impact. Number 7 is continuous learning. I-skip na natin yan kasi kanina pa natin na-discuss. Kumbaga, you need to commit yourself talaga sa mga lifelong na mga learning or even professional development para mas ma-enhance pa yung leadership skills. Reflect and iterate, no? Kumbaga, you need to set aside time for self-reflection. Yung ikaw mismo, i-review mo ang leadership experiences mo. I-review mo yung mga learnings na meron ka nung naging leader ka. You need to have a self-reflection sa mga achievements na na-achieve mo because you are the leader. Kailangan mong i-identify ano ang mga nag-work ng maayos, ano ang mga kailangang i-improve. You need to make adjustments accordingly para mas ma-refine ang leadership style mo based on the result of your reflection. Ako personally, nangyari ito last year sa akin, 2023. Kasi ang birthday ko kasi January 1. So di ba very timely kasi meron tayo mga New Year's resolution. And then, di ba nag-work ako, na-mention ko sa inyo kanina na during the pandemic, naghanap ako ng job, online job. Yung kwento ko sa inyo kanina, then I became part of the HR department. Tapos meron kasi kaming policy, no, na merong birthday leave, na pwede mo siyang i-avail within the week kung saan nag-fall ang birthday mo. So pwedeng hindi exact ng January 1 kasi holiday din naman kasi yan. So parang malulugi kasi ako, 'di ba? Kasi holiday, wala talagang trabaho niyan. Tapos magbe-birthday leave ako. Kaya may policy kami na within the week. So kung ang January 1 is Monday, so pwede mong kunin ng 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Hindi na pwede on the following week. So I decided to go to the beach. Pero Friday na ako. I believe parang January 1 nun is Monday. Tapos January 5, it was Friday, I believe. Tapos nagpunta kami ng beach resort. And then nag-reflect ako doon. And then nag-reflect ako na-realize ko talaga na parang hindi ako employee material or yung parang, kasi nga for how many years I am an entrepreneur. Ako yung nasusunod palagi, di ba? Kasi decision making galing sa akin. Tapos nung nagtrabaho ako ulit, naging remote employee ako. So I need to follow the company rules and regulations. Hindi siya katulad dati na kung gusto kong matulog, pwede akong hindi mag-open ng tindahan para matulog ng ako whole day. I can always decide like that. Kasi I am the owner of the business. Kumbaga kaya kong i-control ang oras ko, parang ganyan. Pero nung naging empleyado ako, fix ang schedule namin. Pag malapit na yung shift, kung tinatamad akong magpasok, hindi ako pwedeng mag-absent kasi baka nga ma-terminate ako and so on. Kaya I did some reflection. Sabi ko parang hindi ako pwedeng maging empleyado. That's why nag-self-reflect ako. I need to go back in focusing on my business and become the leader of my company. Kaya parang bumalik na yung KOM. Since last year kasi nag-focus na ako as a business leader, not an employee anymore. Number 9, mentorship and coaching. Ang mga mentors and coach, magkaiba yan sila, no? They both share advices, mga insights, pero somehow they differ in terms of monitoring the person. Kasi ang mga mentors, they will just guide, they will just give advices and so on. Tapos bahala na si person, yung kinakausap ng mentor, kung gagawin niya ba yon or hindi. So kunyari ako, mentor ako, di ba? Mentor ako, related to business. Kunyari kinausap ko kayo, kunyari merong isa sa inyo nagpa-mentor sa akin. So I will share my thoughts regarding your concern. So mag-uusap tayo, magbibigay ako ng advices. After nating mag-usap, wala na akong responsibility na i-monitor ka kung ginawa mo ba yun or hindi. The relationship will end there. Yung doon lang sa pag-share ng ideas. Ang mga coaches, hindi nag-e-end ang relationship after talking to that person. Imo-monitor kasi ni coach kung ginawa ba ninyo yung sinasabi nila. Kaya tinatawag silang coach, parang basketball coach or yung sa mga sports. 'Di ba, for example, ang isang basketball coach during the game, nagbigay siya ng instruction na ikaw dapat dito ka, ipasa mo ang bola, 'di ba? Nagbibigay ng instruction. Tapos babantayan niya ng coach pag nag-start na yung game. And then after that, magbibigay siya ng kanyang inputs again. Yun ang coach. Binabantayan kung ginagawa ba talaga yung sinasabi niya. That's why magkaiba yung dalawa in terms of monitoring. Kaya pagdating sa mentorship and coaching, you need to seek guidance and mentorship from experienced leaders na mas makaprovide sa inyo ng valuable na mga advices, mga support. Their perspective can help you. Pero actually, alam nyo, merong mga mentors minsan na they are just using you. Kasi dahil alam nila na newbie ka or parang junior ka pa, something like that, minsan mararamdaman mo na ginagamit ka ng mentor mo. Actually, naramdaman ko yan in the past, no? Kasi I had this mentor na nagbibigay naman talaga siya ng mga advices sa akin. Pero nung napansin ko na nag-grow ako, nung nag-grow yung business and so on, parang napapansin ko na hindi na siya naging happy with the development ba. Parang nakita niya patuloy ako na threat to the point na minsan sinabihan niya ako na, napasukin mo lang ang lahat, wag lang kagaya sa business ko. Parang ganyan yung sinabi niya. No? So the industry is related to outsourcing. And you need to stay authentic. So you need to embrace authenticity by, of course, aligning your actions, aligning your values, aligning your beliefs with your leadership style. Just be genuine. No? You need to always be transparent. You need to be true to yourself while you are interacting with others. Kasi if you are an authentic leader, it will surely build trust. It will increase your credibility. You can easily communicate with your team members. These are just some of the many checklists no na pwede ninyong i-consider to explore more on your leadership styles. Okay? Now let's proceed on topic number 2, developing a leadership mindset. Siyempre, kailangan mo ng tamang mindset, no? Parang the same with business. Kailangan meron ka munang tamang entrepreneurial mindsetting. Kasi yung pagnenegosyo, hindi agad-agad yan na pag may naisip kang business idea, i-implement mo kaagad. So you need to have the right entrepreneurial mindset. If you are planning to work online, kasi marami kayong mga kaibigan, kamag-anak, family members, na nagtratrabaho na as a virtual assistant, as a graphic designer online. They are catering clients abroad and they are earning dollars. Kaya sabi mo sa sarili mo, mag-shift na rin ako ng career, mag-online job na lang ako. Tapos, hindi ka naging successful. 'Di ba? Kasi akala mo ganun lang kadali maghanap ng online job. That's why before shifting to outsourcing industry, you also need to have the right mindset on how to build your digital career para makatrabaho ka talaga online. The same also, if you are planning to become a leader, you need to develop your leadership mindset. Kaya pag-uusapan natin dito yung growth mindset versus fixed mindset, overcoming yung tinatawag na imposter syndrome, malalaman natin yan later, no? Setting goals for personal and professional growth. Now, let's start with the first subtopic of topic number 2. Growth mindset versus yung tinatawag nating fixed na mindset. If you are planning to develop, no, a leadership mindset, kailangan nyo talagang i-cultivate yung growth mindset and not the fixed mindset. Kung baga, having a growth mindset would mean that you are believing that your abilities, that your intelligence, pwede siyang i-develop over time if you are dedicated and if you will give hard work on the duties and responsibilities na ibinigay sa iyo. Yung mga individuals na merong growth mindset, they will view challenges as opportunities to grow. Yung mga individuals na merong growth mindset, nakikita nila na ang failures nila, magagamit nila yun na learning experiences to improve further. Kung meron kang growth mindset, you will seek out, you will find out new ways para mas ma-improve pa yung sarili mo. Kumbaga, you are resilient even in times of failures, setbacks, pero kahit nag-fail ka, you continuously strive for improvement. Ganun daw dapat ang mga leaders, may growth mindset. Leaders with a growth mindset are more likely to, number 1, embrace challenges. So you can actually encourage your team to embrace challenges as, again, opportunities for growth. Ikaw as a leader, no, na may growth mindset, you will emphasize the importance of exploring innovative solutions in order for your team to overcome the obstacle. Learn from failures. When setbacks occur or mistakes will happen, you view them as valuable learning opportunities. Hindi mo siya nakikita na failure siya. Ako, for the past 10 years, maraming failure na nangyari sa akin. Like for example, sa shop namin. For last year, kasi yung shop magti 3 years na. For the first 2 years nang nagbi-business kami ng mga rental and so on, hindi maayos yung inventory namin. That's why when 2024 came, I decided to invest para sa POS or point of sale for inventory management, tracking of sales, gross, net sales, and so on. Because I learned from my failure in the past, hindi masyadong na-monitor ang mga inventory. Kaya minsan may mga supplies kami na wala na palang available pero hindi man lang ako naging aware. So that's why I learned from that failure. And this 2024, sabi ko, I need to have the POS. At dahil meron kaming system na ginamit, nag-conduct kami ng training para sa mga staff para alam nila paano siya gamitin. Kasi you need to foster an environment wherein the team members will feel also comfortable sa kanilang ginagawa. If that's their mistake in the past at doon ka naka-learn, wag mo naman masyadong i-push at parang kumbaga palaging i-blame sa kanya yon. You need to share the lessons that you learn from your staff. And of course, you need to gather their inputs. Mag-brainstorm kayo on ways to improve. Foster a culture of innovation. So, encourage experimentation, encourage creativity within your team. And don't forget na pag may growth mindset ka, you need to continuously develop. You need to prioritize ongoing learning and development for yourself and for your team. Kaya mag-invest nga doon sa mga training programs, workshops, yung mga napag-usapan natin kanina. So, meron tayo ditong nilista, no? Yan. Kumbaga, the difference of growth mindset and fixed mindset. So, sa growth mindset, no, they believe that abilities can be developed and improved through dedication, effort, and learning. So, yung mga tao na may growth mindset, they believe na yung talents nila, yung abilities nila, kumbaga hindi fixed. Hindi siya fixed traits, kumbaga. Yung talents and abilities are not fixed. They can be enhanced if you will look for continuous learning. If you will persevere, no, if you will offer hard work to what you are doing. Kunyari, may isang empleyado tapos gusto niya mag-improve yung kanyang public speaking skills. So mag-a-attend siya ng workshop. Ipapractice niya yung public speaking niya regularly at mag-a-ask yan siya ng feedback from the colleagues. Kasi naniniwala ang empleyado na yon na through her or his dedication, tsaka yung effort na ine-exert niya to improve yung kanyang public speaking skills, mas magiging confident siya at effective communicator in the future. Alam niyo, to be honest, no, introvert man din ako. I mean like, mayroon akong inferiority complex. Actually, may stage fright pa ako. May stage fright ako noon. 'Di ba, I belong to the LGBT community, 'di ba? Tapos marami akong mga friends na they are encouraging me when I am still young to join yung mga Miss Gay na pageant. Kasi matangkad kasi ako, my height is 5'9". Tapos syempre in the past, sexy, ganyan. Tapos maganda din naman ako, char. So my friends, they keep on encouraging me to join yung Miss Gay pero never akong sumali. Never kong na-experience na sumali sa mga Miss Gay because I am afraid to stand sa stage at saka takot ako sa question and answer. Yan din yung isa sa mga reasons kung bakit hindi din ako, hindi talaga ako ganun ka-interested to work abroad. Kasi English, I don't want to communicate in English. Nung nag-shift ako ng career from nursing to the BPO, kasi di ba online worker ako, no, I am a virtual professional. 2011 ako nag-shift ng career. Pero never kong sinubukan mag-apply sa call center. Kasi nga ayaw kong magsalita ng English. I am not confident. Kaya ang sinubukan ko yung back office, yung non-voice, yung pagiging isang virtual assistant. Pero very ironic, di ba? Ironic siya kasi yung isa sa mga ginagawa ko ngayon is maging isang resource speaker. Kaya anong ginawa ko? Para ma-overcome ko yung stage fright, I am investing a lot of courage para um, para tumayo sa stage no at makipag-usap sa malaking crowd. Tapos I keep on talking to my trainees in English for the past years para masanay ako magsalita ng English. Kasi may mga skills, may mga talents and abilities tayo na hindi fixed. Pwede siyang mag-grow over time. Embraces challenges as opportunities for learning development. Yung mga individuals na may growth mindset, wini-welcome nila yung mga challenges as chances for them para mas stretch yung kanilang abilities, para mas ma-broaden yung kanilang knowledge at mas makadevelop sila ng mga bagong skills. They will always see challenges as their stepping stone para sa kanilang personal and professional growth. Hindi siya obstacle para sa kanila, but it is a learning experience. The third one, under the growth mindset, view failures as a temporary setback and an opportunity for growth and learning. Yung mga tao na may growth mindset, they will always perceive that failures, kumbaga parang natural part na yan siya of the learning process. Kumbaga, imposible na hindi ka mag-fail. Yung mga merong growth mindset, they understand na yung mga setbacks na nararanasan nila will provide valuable lessons and insights that can lead for improvement and for their future success. Yung ikaapat, seeks feedback and actively engages in self-reflection to enhance skills and performance. Yung mga taong may growth mindset, they actively solicit feedback from others. Tapos mag-reflect sila on their own actions, magre-reflect sila on their own experiences in order for them to identify the areas for growth and development. Kumbaga, they see feedback as a valuable tool in order for them to improve. Sabi nga kanina, instead na i-accept mo siya as criticism, gagamitin mo siyang tool to further improve. And the last one, yung mga taong may growth mindset, inspired by the success of others and sees them as sources of inspiration and learning. Alam nyo, na-i-inspire naman talaga tayo sa mga success stories ng mga taong hindi natin kilala. Take note of that, ha? We are inspired of the success stories ng mga taong hindi natin kilala. Yung mga individuals daw na may growth mindset, pag may achievement yung taong inspiration nila, nakikita nila yun na magiging ganyan din ako someday. Kumbaga magiging role model nila yung mga may success story. They can learn from their experiences. Pero ito yung sinabi ko kanina na i-inspire lang tayo sa mga success stories ng taong hindi natin kilala. Pero if you notice, ang mga Filipinos, may ugali talaga ang Filipinos na kapag kilala nila ang taong taong naging successful, sometimes they are not happy. Kunyari yung kapitbahay ninyo, diba? Kunyari ang kapitbahay ninyo, dati magka-level lang kayo, no? Kunyari ganyan yung sweldo ng asawa niya, so ang ganon. Pero suddenly nagkaroon ng promotion, nakabili sila ng kotse, ng sasakyan. Di ba yung ibang kapitbahay ninyo, they are not happy na nakabili ka ng sasakyan? Diyan na darating yung mga reklamo na sagabal sa kalsada, dagdag sa traffic, and so on. So bakit hindi tayo naging happy with the success of our neighbor? Kasi kapitbahay, kilala natin sila. Instead na na-inspire tayo, nagkaroon ng envy. Minsan nga, even yung mga kamag-anak natin, di ba? Kung sino pa yung relatives natin, sometimes may mga relatives na hindi masaya with the success na meron tayo. Pero yung mga taong hindi natin kilala, pag naging successful sila, we are inspired by their story. Kaya yung mga taong may growth mindset, ganyan silang mag-isip. Pag fixed mindset ka kasi, no, if your mindset is fixed, you believe that abilities and talents are innate na or fixed ba? So kumbaga parang hanggang dyan lang talaga siya, hindi na siya pwedeng i-change over time. Kung mahina ka sa public speaking, for a fixed mindset individual, mahina na talaga ako. Parang inaccept niya na yung fact na hindi na ako mag-i-improve sa field na to. And that's wrong. Hindi ka pwedeng maging leader if that's your mindset. Tapos ang fixed mindset ng mga individuals avoids challenges to protect self-image. Kumbaga, para sa yung mga individuals with a fixed mindset, they tend to avoid challenges and difficult tasks kasi natatakot silang magkaroon sila ng failure. Kumbaga sasabihin nila kaagad, ay hindi ko yan kayang gawin. 'Di ba? Ayaw nilang mag-improve. Ako, when I started my online career, nursing ako eh. I am a nurse. Wala akong alam about online job. Pero grabe ako ka-eager, grabe ako ka-aggressive in learning more skills. Because I want to enhance my knowledge and skills competencies. Alam ko na hindi lang ito ang kaya kong gawin. Pero yung mga may fixed mindset, they will not explore more. Pag bibigyan mo yan ng trabaho, they will decline it. Kasi natatakot silang magkaroon ng failure. Natatakot sila na kapag mafe-fail sila sa task na ito, masisira yung kanilang or madadamage yung kanilang personality. Bababa ang kanilang self-esteem and so on. Ganyan mag-isip, ang mga yung tinatawag nating merong fixed na mga mindset. The third one, views failure as a reflection of inherent lack of ability. Yung mga taong may fixed mindset, they interpret failure as evidence na mahina talaga sila sa bagay na to. Kunyari, sabi ko na, sana hindi na ako nagsalita in front ng crowd, wala tuloy natutunan yung mga audience. Kaya instead of seeing failure as an opportunity to grow, ginagamit nila yun na evidence para magpatunay na mahina talaga sila sa bagay na yan. And that's not a good mindset if you're planning to become a leader. Resistant to feedback, laging naiinis, Hindi ina-accept ng constructively yung mga criticism. Kumbaga every time na may nagbibigay sa kanila ng feedback, they perceive it as a threat for their self-image. Nakikita nila yun na kapag may nag-criticize sa kanila, or may nagbibigay ng feedback, ini-interpret nila ito na sinisiraan sila. That's why, if ganyan ka mag-accept ng mga feedbacks, you cannot be a leader. And then threatened by the success of others. Ito siguro papasok dito yung kung kilala mo yung tao, ganyan. Especially kunyari yung teammate mo. Kasi magkasabay kayong pumasok sa kumpanyang yan. Pero siya yung naunang na-promote as the manager. So, may kumbaga parang threat yon sa success mo. You cannot be a leader. So there's a difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset. Kaya dapat ikaw, if you're planning to become a leader, you need to have the growth mindset. Now, ano ba itong tinatawag nating imposter syndrome? Some of you might be familiar already with this one, pero yung iba sa inyo baka first time to read, to learn about what we call imposter syndrome. So kumbaga, pag sinabing imposter syndrome based here on our definition, in the context of leadership mindset, it refers to a psychological, it refers to the psychological processes of the human being, where individuals doubt their accomplishments and have a persistent fear of being exposed as fraud despite evidence of their competence and success. Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? Kumbaga, in the context of leadership mindset, di ba nakalagay dyan, it refers to when leaders doubt their abilities. Kumbaga nafe-feel nila na they don't deserve their position. Kumbaga nararamdaman nila na hindi nila deserve yung mga accomplishments na nagagawa nila. Kasi palagi silang may fear na, kumbaga parang darating yung time na masasabi na you are not a good leader, or baka ma-expose yung mga inefficiencies mo at work and so on. Kumbaga parang nararamdaman mo na parang hindi ko deserve na maging leader. Kunyari, kinausap ka ng CEO tapos sinabi niya na magiging team leader ka kasi na-observe namin na in the past, as a team member, meron ka namang qualification to lead the team, and so on. Tapos minsan hesitate ka. Sabi ko, minsan tinatanggihan mo, di ba? Kumbaga parang, ang nasa isip mo, magiging mabigat na ang responsibilities mo as a leader to the point na hesitant ka to accept the promotion. That is what we meant of imposter syndrome. Kumbaga wala kang tiwala sa sarili mo. Parang nahihinder yung yung pagiging effective leader mo. Yung confidence mo na maging leader, nahihinder ng syndrome na to. Kaya hindi ka, parang feeling mo wala kang capacity to lead effectively. Kaya dapat ang mga leaders, no, na sa tingin nila nakaka-experience sila ng ganito, kailangan nilang pag-aralan kung paano mag-seek out ng support. Kunyari, leader kayo ngayon, pero nararamdaman nyo na deserving ba talaga ako sa position na to? You need to work on building your self-confidence. Tapos you embrace your accomplishments. Meron ako mga tips na i-share sa inyo on how to overcome the imposter syndrome. First is for you to acknowledge your achievements. Kumbaga, take time to acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments. No matter how small they may seem, celebrate it. Recognize the effort and dedication you put into achieving the goals that you set. Challenge self-doubt. So you need to confront negative thoughts. You need to confront self-doubt. No? Kailangan mo siyang i-reframe. Di ba nakalagay dyan? Kailangan mo siyang i-reframe na maging positive ang dating niya. You need to remind yourself of your previous success. You need to remind yourself of your previous challenges na na-overcome mo. Kunyari, before giving a presentation to a large audience, you may feel nervous and you will doubt your abilities. Parang ako yun, di ba? So instead of focusing on your fears, you need to remind yourself na ginawa mo na ito dati. No? You need to remind yourself of your previous presentations in front of a large audience wherein you receive positive feedback. You need to remind yourself na in the past, nagkaroon ka ng successful delivery of the key points of your presentation. You need to visualize yourself delivering the presentation confidently. So you need to challenge self-doubt to overcome this syndrome. Yung palagi natin sinasabi kanina, you need to seek support. So don't be afraid to reach out to mentors, to coaches for guidance and encouragement. Embrace failure as learning. And you need to view setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. So kunyari, meron isang project pero hindi nyo na-achieve yung desired outcome, why not take time to reflect on what went wrong and why it happened? You need to identify areas for improvement. You need to brainstorm strategies to prevent similar issues in the future. You need to use the experiences na meron ka as learning opportunity to strengthen your leadership skills. And at the same time, your decision-making abilities. And the last two, and the last one pala, the fifth one, is to develop a growth mindset. Yan yung pinag-uusapan natin. You need to cultivate a belief in your ability to learn and ability to improve over time. So you need to focus on continuous self-development rather than focusing on fixed mindset. Instead na gamitin mo yung mga failures mo as ebidensya na talagang mahina ka sa bagay na yan, focus on continuous self-improvement and self-development. So the last subtopic, so let's make this fast para at least we can discuss topic number 3, setting goals for personal and professional growth. So kapag mag-set daw tayo ng goals, personal and professional, you need to be specific. So you need to clearly define your goals with measurable objectives para at least maka-provide kayo ng clear target to your work. Prioritize. You need to identify the most important goals that align with your values and long-term vision. So if your long-term vision is to become a marketing manager, for example, then you need to prioritize goals that will help you advance in your career, such as gaining experience in digital marketing, in e-commerce, and so on. No? Another tip to set goal, personal and professional, is to establish a plan. Do not just think it. You need to ink it as well. Kailangang nakasulat siya. If your goal is to increase sales performance, for example, you need to establish a plan that includes specific actions like setting weekly sales target or implementing new sales strategies, mag-attend kayo ng mga sales training workshops and so on. Assign deadlines to each action in order for you to keep yourself accountable. Monitor progress. You need to regularly review your goals and track your progress. Kaya, for example, if your goal is to improve customer satisfaction, then you need to regularly monitor feedback from customers through surveys or reviews. And then analyze the data para gamitin mo yun to improve and to adjust your strategies accordingly. Kapag magsiset kayo ng goal, andito ulit, mag-seek ka ng feedback. If your goal is to enhance your leadership skills, seek feedback from your team members or supervisors in regards to your leadership style. Tapos gamitin mo yung input na yun to identify what areas ang kailangan mo pang i-improve, no? And then stay flexible is the last one. Adaptability, flexibility. You need to remain open to adjusting your goals and strategies. Kunyari, if your career goal is to transition into a new industry, so you need to stay flexible and open-minded about exploring different opportunities that may arise. Parang ako ba na from the healthcare industry, nag-transition to the outsourcing industry, I am always willing to adjust to my goals and strategies para makakuha ako ng mga bagong insights and experiences. Kasi alam nyo ba, ang pinaka-dream business ko talaga is to have a restaurant. No? Restaurant. Nung nurse pa ako, sabi ko pa dati, nung nurse ako, pag mag-abroad ako, babalik ako ng Pilipinas, magpapatayo ako ng restaurant. Resto bar to be specific. Kasi sa mga kaedad ko dyan, mga 1980s pataas pinanganak, 80s to 90s, no? Meron kasing TV series sa Studio 23 before yung Charm. Actually, doon galing yung nickname ko na Piper. Tapos yung Piper, owner siya ng P3. That's a resto bar. Kaya dahil idol ko, when I was still young, when I was still in high school, si Piper, nung Charm, yun din ang naging pangarap ko no, na magkaroon ng resto bar. Ganun naman talaga usually kapag pag nasa younger years, mayroon tayong idol at gusto nating gayahin. Pero biglang nag-change kasi yung nag-shift ako ng career, nag-iba yung path ko. Sinabi ko dati na dapat at the age of 30, mapatayo ko na yung restaurant. That's my goal. Nung nag-set ako ng goal, dapat 30, entrepreneur na ako. Kaso, hindi naman ako nag-nurse. Feeling ko hindi na matutuloy yung resto bar. Malapit na ako mag-30 years old noon. Kaya what I did, I started KOM, which is aligned to my digital career. That's why when I was 30, I became an entrepreneur because I need to establish a business. So that's the time that KOM was established. Kaya, at dahil 10 years na ang KOM, magde 10 years na, so obvious na that I am already 40 years old because that was 10 years ago. So I need to adjust to my goals. I need to adjust directions. Now, for the last topic, may 7 minutes pa naman tayo.
Hello.
Hello po. Hello.
Hello po.
Nawalan po ng audio yata si ma'am.
Okay, hello, hello. Okay. So, again, if you are planning to make use of the matrix, it is divided into 4 quadrants. You need to identify ano yung important and urgent. Second one, important pero hindi urgent. Tapos, the third quadrant, ano ba yung urgent pero hindi naman ganun ka-importante. And the last quadrant, you need to identify mga task na hindi urgent, hindi rin naman ganun ka-importante. Kasi if you are going to make use of this matrix, you as a leader can identify the high priority task that will contribute most to the team, na ma-achieve ang mga goals ninyo. Mas makafocus pa kayo sa time and energy para makumpleto ang mga task na yon. Another time management technique or tool na pwede ninyong gamitin is yung tinatawag nating time blocking. So it involves allocating specific time slots for different tasks. Kung baga parang nag-set ka ng time na from 8 o'clock to 9 a.m., ito yung task na gagawin mo. From 9 to 10, ito yung gagawin mo. Leaders like you can block off time for meetings. You can also block off time sa mga collaborative work sessions ninyo, or kung meron kang individual task, pwede mo ring i-block off yan. Parang something like this. You can make use of your Google Calendar, no? In doing time blocking. Kasi alam nyo, if you're going to dedicate focus time to each activity that you are doing, you can make sure that you will be productive. Ma-minimize mo yung distractions, no? Tapos mababalance mo pa yung need ng team mo with your own workload. So pwedeng mag-time blocking as a time management tool and technique. And the last one is yung tinatawag nating Agile Scrum methodology. Kumbaga, this is a project management framework, no, na nag-e-emphasize ng collaboration, adaptability. Kasi dito sa technique na to, this includes yung tinatawag nating sprint planning, wherein teams will plan and prioritize tasks for each sprint, like typically a 2 to 4 week period. Tapos merong mga daily stand-up meetings wherein yung mga team members can gather daily to discuss progress, challenges, and plans for the day. Like araw-araw, before you start your shift, ang leader pwedeng i-gather ang teams para pag-usapan ano ang plano mo for today. Ganyan ang ginagawa ko sa aming ganyan ang ginagawa ko sa aming shop, no, sa mga staff namin sa shop, na first thing in the morning, nakalista sa whiteboard, eto ang gagawin ninyo. Hindi kasi lahat ng staff namin sa shop merong technological proficiency or hindi magaling sa mga software and so on. So pwede yung gamitin ito as your time management tool or technique. Delegation and empowerment. If you want to go fast, you can go alone, diba? But if you want to go faster, you need to delegate tasks, because as simple as no man is an island. So delegation, you need to clearly define the task and expectation. So bago mo i-delegate ang task, it is very important to clearly define what needs to be done and the expected outcomes. Kaya ikaw as a leader, mag-provide ka ng detailed instructions. Mag-provide ka ng deadlines, no? And any relevant information to ensure clarity and alignment. Nakalagay dyan, identifying the right person. So you need to match the task na i-delegate mo sa team member na may capacity to do it. Kailangan mong i-consider ang individual strengths at yung areas nila to develop. Bakit ka magbibigay ng task sa tingin mo na hindi pa ganun ka-develop yung skill niya? Di ba dapat ang unahin mo as a leader, bigyan mo siya ng training program bago mo i-delegate yung task na yon. Kung hindi siya marunong sa social media management, huwag mo munang ibigay ang task. bigyan mo siya ng enough time to learn about social media management. Number 3, providing necessary resources. Kailangan ang bawat team members may access sa mga resources, information, or sa mga support na kailangan nila para makumpleto yung task successfully. Establishing checkpoints for monitoring progress. So, ibig sabihin yan, kumbaga, you need to set up regular milestones no, to track the progress and mag-provide ka ng opportunity for feedback as well. Para ma-make sure lang na the task, they are still on track, no? And pwede pang mag-allow for adjustments if needed. Allowing autonomy and decision-making authority. Kumbaga dapat decentralization. You need to empower your team members to make decisions and take ownership of their assigned task. Kaya bigyan mo sila ng autonomy and also an authority to execute their responsibilities effectively. And in delegating, you need to provide feedback and recognition for successful completion. Pagdating naman sa empowerment, sorry, hindi ko na naman na-change yung taas, no? This is the second mistake for the presentation. Hindi yan delegation, that's empowerment. Pagdating naman sa empowerment, dito na tayo mag-focus sa baba, yung key aspects niya, you need to provide opportunities for skill development and growth. So you need to empower, kumbaga empowerment involves providing your team members with opportunities to enhance their skills. Just like yung example natin kanina about learning first, social media management, bago mo siya bigyan ng task related to it. Encouraging innovation and creativity. Through empowerment, no, it will foster an environment wherein team members will feel that they are encouraged as well to think creatively. Kumbaga dapat merong environment na yung mga team members, they are given the privilege to explore innovative solutions to the problems being encountered. Kasi empowerment ang pinag-uusapan natin. Fostering a culture of trust and open communication. Empowerment requires building trust. Kaya when team members feel trusted and valued, they are more likely to take initiative. No? Mag-i-initiate na lang yan sila ng kanila. And they will contribute their ideas ng may confidence. Recognizing and rewarding initiative and achievement, we discussed that one. And the last one, under empowerment, supporting risk-taking and learning from failures. Huwag na natin discuss, napag-usapan na rin kanina. Okay? And in terms of fostering a culture of collaboration, so basahin nyo lang yung presentation, no? Let's just enumerate kung how are you going to foster a culture of collaboration, open communication channels, napag-usapan naman din natin yan kanina. Second one is for you to promote shared goals and values para you are guaranteed na align ang mga individuals with the organizational objectives and so on. Another thing for you to foster a culture of collaboration is dapat mag-provide ka ng supportive environment and recognition. At napag-usapan naman din natin yan kanina. Okay, so it's 8:03. Medyo na-late tayo ng 3 minutes. Nag-overtime tayo. But thank you very much for staying, no? So bale, before we will end, I will just post the form, no? Pero sa mga nag-register na, you are not required anymore to fill up the registration form. Kasi nga automatically, if you already paid sa registration form, makaka-receive na kayo ng certificate. Ito kasi yung bago naming strategy and we believe this is more effective as compared with yung may attendance sheet dati, no? Kasi minsan nagkakaroon ng confusion doon sa attendance sheet, kaya minsan hindi namin nagagawa ng certificate ang isang participant. Kaya ngayon, ang ipopost ko, yung registration form. Ngayon, kung tapos ka na, if you are already done with the registration form, tapos nag-request ka ng certificate doon, for example, pwede ka nang hindi mag-register. Okay? Pwede nang hindi mag-register. Ibig sabihin, pwede ka nang mag-leave. Pero meron kasi tayo mga participants tonight na hindi nag-register. Kaya at hindi nag-avail ng certificate pa, for example, this is your chance to edit your response. Ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo mag-avail ng certificate, kasi during the registration, nag-no ka doon, so all you need to do is just to edit your response, no? To edit your response and pay the processing fee na 50 pesos. So again ang instructions ko, if you already registered through the registration form, all you need to do is to skip. Huwag na kayo mag-register. Pero kapag gusto nyong mag-avail ng certificate, for example, then mag-register kayo. So guys, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope to hindi ko naman kayo nakikita, pero I hope na magjo-join pa rin kayo sa mga upcoming webinars namin. Tomorrow, meron kaming dalawa. In the morning, cybersecurity and ethical use of connectivity. That's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tapos pagkagabi, from 6 to 8, meron tayo HR manual and employee handbook. So if you're interested, just register. Sige guys, if you are already done with the registration fee, in case pwede na kayong mag-leave, we will just give time to those na ngayon pa lang mag-fill up para matapos nila yung form. Again, maraming salamat. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Sweet dreams kung matutulog na kayo. And see you tomorrow again. Ang recording nito is immediately after kung ma-end ang stream. Pag mag-end streaming ako, you can already access the recorded version sa Facebook page namin. Yung Ronald Piper Rambuanga na Facebook page. Okay, sige. I will just play a video before we will end our streaming para maka-extend tayo ng konting time sa mga magre-register pa. Kasi after this, I am going to close the form. Tapos, sa request form na kayo magre-request. The certificates will be distributed anytime tomorrow. So maybe on the afternoon. Yun naman din yung nakalagay sa form, di ba? On the next day, marireceive ang certificate. So usually baka mga hapon yan, 3 to 4. Okay, so mag-play na ako ng video and you can leave already and see you again soon. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
The CIO studio at the City Hall. This is Tagum News Central with Louie Lapa.
Prominence of the online economy, and with more people engaged in both buying and selling stuff on the internet, the city of Tagum is riding the waves to help online entrepreneurs make a mark in the online world, staying true to its mission of providing excellent employment and livelihood services to Tagumeños. The Public Education and Employment Services Office recently launched Project Boost, boosting online opportunities and services for Tagumeños. Beneficiaries were subjected to a 10-day rigid training given for free by the local government, giving them the tools and tricks of the trade to make them competitive in the online arena. Our correspondent Ziara Manalo begins our broadcast tonight with an in-depth look of Project Boost and how it prepares Tagumeño online entrepreneurs to laugh all the way to the bank. Here's the report.
Bringing the online opportunities and services to Tagumeños is one of the new angles to the Public Education and Employment Services Office, or PISO, is eyeing for this year.
This is made possible as the LGU's newest department launched its first ever Project Boost last May 28, which ended on June 11, 2018. The program offers 10 modules which explore administrative services, content management, Facebook advertisement, and online reputation management, among others. PISO partnered with a skills development company, the Knights of the Online Marketers, which is based in Davao City, to fully realize this program.
The online outsourcing industry is actually for everyone. Hindi mahirap makahanap ng trabaho, especially if you have a lot of skills in using the ICT
into its full advantage.
A former nurse, Madel Tumulak, one of the 25 beneficiaries, stressed the importance of learning this technology for people like her who wants to work home-based.
Tanan man jud inclined sa computers, at least ginatudluan ta diri unsaon proper way sa pag-utilize sa computer, especially na information technology era na ta karon.
Ni-focus ta on the ICT nga program, nag-elevate na jud ang peso na dili na siya the usual nga referral to establishment, referral to asa na mga employers, but now ni-embark tag another na it's a kulba sa among part because it's the first time na ni-adapt ani nga program.
Well, the program is set to make Tagum City as one of the most competitive cities in terms of ICT integration. It ultimately aims to help interested Tagumeños to be effective online entrepreneurs. Reporting for Tagum News Central, Ziara Manalo, CIO Tagum.